Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Colts Cast. We are here to talk about everything and anything Indianapolis Colts. My name is Eric Smith, co-host of the Colts Cast. Alongside me, as always, I have co-host Jamal Lawrence here.
Yo.
Guys, please be sure to follow us on social media. Twitter handle, @thecoltscast, and our Instagram is @coltscast. Not only will you see new episodes posted on there, but you will see posts from us, posts we run, exciting highlight videos, and anything in between. Also, we have officially started uploading our podcast to YouTube. So if you're a preferred listener on YouTube or you're just a diehard Colts Cast fan for us, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. We want to get that channel big. We want to do live sessions in the future, some live pods. So check us out on there. Just search the Colts Cast or find us on our Linktree link that we post all the time. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. The Chiefs at Colts. Jamal, what are we expecting?
Oh man, I'm expecting the first home opener for us, man. We're back in action. I'm excited, Colts fan. I know y'all are excited. I put the JT jersey on for today. All week long I've been down and out about what happened, but man, there's nothing like the feeling of knowing the game.
That ain't no JT jersey. That ain't no JT jersey.
Show everybody, don't I, man? Go ahead.
All right, that's a JT jersey.
But no, I expect nothing but greatness. Just to start off, Eric, I just want to point out, because I keep this Peyton Manning quote right here on my wall. It's kind of hard for me to point backwards. I'm going to read it to you, though. It says, "I never left the field saying I could have done more to get ready, and that gives me peace of mind." That's the mentality of a winner. That's the mentality the Colts have to come out on the field with. I feel like we haven't left everything on the field every single game this season, so we need to come out guns blazing. I expect in the home opener, I expect it to be just a great atmosphere. 60,000 people, 60,000 plus out there, ready just to cheer on the Colts fans. I expect Frank Reich to be aggressive with Jonathan Taylor, let him come out and eat. I expect the offense to be firing on all cylinders, as well as the defense. We don't have time for these mental mistakes. So I just think that the home opener is always a different type of feel, and it's one to be very excited for as a player, as a fan. You just know that there's a lot on the line. So why not open up this one with going against a great opponent? What are you looking for?
Yeah, I guess that's what you're expecting from a well-rested Chiefs, right? Haven't played since last Thursday. I guess I'll answer this, but I want to throw it to you next. But do we want to take it, or are they going to take it easy on us? Or are they going to play us like we're a high caliber team? I'll tell you what I think. I expect a slaughter based on our past two performances. It hurts to say, but it's just if the ship hasn't turned into the right direction, we're talking like a 42-0 game for the Chiefs. That's not what Colts fans want to hear, but realistically, if the Jaguars stomped you out, what makes you think the Chiefs can't do it? They're a much better team, in my opinion. A healthy Michael Pittman and Shaquille Leonard playing would make me feel a whole lot better. Alec Pierce as well, even though he hasn't made an impact just yet. But I feel more comfortable when we just have a fully healthy team. We also can't have Buckner and Ngakoue missing games. They were limited on Wednesday. Bernard Raymond got that DNP yesterday, but I think he practiced today, Thursday. I think he did. Raymond hasn't gotten a ton of snaps at left tackle, but, we're talking like under 30 snaps, I believe, a game. And that's still a drive or two, which we would be missing that rotational depth. So we need to be fully healthy entering the game, because they won't be taking it easy on us. Throw it to you, Jamal.
Yep. No, you said exactly what I would say. Of course, I agree with all the injuries there. We need everybody back, firing on all cylinders. But I 110% believe Andy Reid will not take it easy on us. Colts, historically, every year, I feel like we always get one game where we step up and play to a whole nother level. Last year was against the Bills. We beat them, 42-15, I believe it was. Crazy game. Every year we have one game where we step up and show out. I don't think it's going to be this game, though. Andy Reid is not a dumb coach. He has been in the league for forever. He knows what he's doing. And a team like the Chiefs, I hate to see a team like that get the extra rest because that's just more game planning. Those guys aren't going to take a day off just because they're coming to Indianapolis where we're 0-2 and 1. They're going to play this game like we're the Bills. So I do honestly expect to see it be a blowout. Unfortunately, I think it'll happen pretty quickly. It just makes me nervous because when we look at it, they're the second highest scoring offense in the league. They're just 1 point behind the Bills. So, I mean, they play 1,000 miles an hour. Guess where Colts rank on that list, Eric?
I don't
Dead
want to
last.
know. I don't.
Dead
You're
last.
supposed to keep that to yourself, man.
Listen, man. So that scares me because I've seen so many predictions. Oh, this would be a close game, 30-24, 30-18, all this good jazz. I mean, again, like you said, we got slaughtered by the Jaguars, and we barely kept up with the Texans. I mean, it was during trash ball where we kind of came back and tied the game up. So I just don't really see the Chiefs or us being in true competition with the Chiefs. I think it'll get out of hand pretty quickly.
Yeah, it hurts to say, but I don't know. Let's just talk about it because I think there are some positives to note. So let's just keep going. Jamal, do you think our offense or defense will shine up in this matchup?
Yeah, I think it's going to be
which one's going to shine?
The offense is going to be the offense, and it's only going to be because of Jonathan Taylor. The defense, I am honestly scared to see what Mahomes will be able to do. We have clearly seen that without Tyreek Hill, they are not hurting. Tyreek Hill is doing great down in Miami, but they are not hurting without him on the field. So that scares me because we have a very shaky defense where Kenny Moore hasn't played the way he needs to for it to be a contract year for him. Gilly Locke's been playing probably the best out of the corners, but still not great. Linebacker core hasn't been great. Zero push from the defensive line. So that scares me because you're going to give Mahomes time in the pocket. That's going to cause problems. If we do get the push, he can scramble. I don't think we're capable of keeping up with a scrambling quarterback. That's going to be a problem. So I'll say all that because then we flip over to offense where we are definitely not firing on all cylinders. Matt Ryan's not looking that great. Receiving core is looking terrible. Tight end core is looking terrible. Offense line's looking terrible. But there's always just that one sliver of hope, number 28, who is an elite player who plays a cut above everybody else. And I think that if we can figure out some way for him to get past the first level of defenders that have defensive line, it's going to be a good game for him because it was a really, really bad game in Jacksonville. I think that overall, I mean, obviously he just scraped 50 yards. Just a terrible overall game, but those are legitimate one-offs. He touched the ball 15 times, I think it was. So I expect Frank Wright to come out pretty heavy on him, I would think, because we don't want to be in a situation like we were last week. So I think JT will come out and ball out, which is why I'm giving this one to the offense for this week. What about you?
I'm going to have to give it to the offense as well. I saw you touch on our corners. I want to note that Isaiah Rodgers, I don't think he's played a snap in the regular season. And I think that's strange. I know Brandon Faison, he came from Gus Bradley's defense last year. So I guess he's going to get that, third spot in our rotation. But Isaiah Rodgers, I thought was great last year. But anyway, again, I think it's going to be our offense as well because I don't think our defense can stop Patrick Mahomes and that Andy Reid offense. I just don't think so. Gus Bradley's defense last year got decimated for 444 yards per game when the Chiefs played the Raiders. Of course, there's some different cards in play in 2022, but with Gus Bradley having more talented players around him now and no Tyreek Hill for the Chiefs, maybe it's a little different. However, that hasn't seemed, like you just said, to pose a problem for the Chiefs yet. I mean, what'd you say, second best offense in the NFL right now? I know it's only been 2 weeks,
Yep.
but they're still firing on all cylinders. They're still winning games, something the Colts can't do right now. I know cover 2 and not blitzing, it's given Mahomes some trouble in the past, but great teams are able to adapt. So I don't know if this Gus Bradley defensive scheme is going to be able to stop it, but we'll see. You know, there's been a lot of surprises in the NFL, but that leaves our offense. So, well, you know, we have to be able to keep up with the Chiefs to have a remote chance in this one. So it's going to have to be a shootout. Give me Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce back out there. Give me some more reps from Nyheim Hines. Feed Jonathan Taylor. Give me stellar offensive line play. A lot of them on that line earn a huge paycheck. Earn that money, boys.
Yeah, no. You're 100% right. And you know, it just made me so mad, especially looking back at last week, because just looking at the film, not even so much the Jonathan Taylor situation, but Nyheim, I mean, we fed him, that first drive? We fed him a decent amount. We tried to get him incorporated and involved, and then just forgot about him for the rest of the game. Again, weird game, weird situation. I don't know what was going on, but I just think about situations like that where he was on the right track. I'm not saying that he was going to have a all-star stellar game, but when their aces are in their places and they're doing what they're supposed to, then keep it going. You know, we got to keep it going. So I just thought about Nyheim. I thought about when you mentioned that.
Let's talk about your boy, JT. After the subpar game Jonathan Taylor had, should we expect him to be a bigger threat this week?
Oh, yeah. 30 carries minimum. Listen, Frank Reich, I know we talked about the curse.
Hold on. 30 carries?
I know we talked about the curse.
Game script might say otherwise. What if we're down like 42-0? How are you going to justify that, Jamal?
Listen, bro.
24-0. I just want to hear your rebuttal.
No. And I'm glad you call that out, because you would, in every other NFL team, you would expect to see them start just bombing the rock down the field all the time. But if Frank Reich values his job, and again, everyone knows he's not getting fired this during midseason. I doubt it even happened at the end of the season. Jim Irsay has not fired. He's never fired a coach midseason. I think his dad maybe did way back when, but he's never done it. So, unfortunately, or I shouldn't say unfortunately, but the talk about firing Frank, midseason is not going to happen. So, anyway, I still say this though. If Reich values his job as much as he truly says he does, then he will run the ball. Even if we're down that much, getting these quick 3-and-outs aren't going to do anything for us, because what's going to happen when we try to do a little check down on first down, and then a check down on second down, all of a sudden it's 3rd and 10, we're gonna try to pass the ball again. They know the pass is coming, or we're gonna try to run the ball and hope JT can get his average of 6 yards a carry like he did last year. So I think that it's gonna have to be a heavy JT game. And they're going to have to just keep pounding the ball, even if we're down by 20 points. If you want to be somewhat successful, you're going to have to give him the ball. He is the only person who has proven himself that he can carry his weight no matter what the stipulation is. We look at Alec Pierce dropping a touchdown that was in his hands. He wasn't getting tight coverage on him. He just dropped it. We look at Desmond Patton and his drops there. JT has a shitty O-line blocking for him, and he still was able to, game one, still able to run for 100 and something yards. So he can always find a way to still elevate his game a little bit more depending on what's going on. Again, last week was an anomaly. They did an awesome job of shutting him down, but I don't expect to see that again. As well as the Chiefs defense plays, I don't expect them to be able to lock him up like that. So JT will be getting the ball majority of the game. Even if we're down by 20 points, I think Frank will start to try to go pass heavy, but he's going to revert back to JT because we got to get those easy yards. We need to be getting that second and 6, 2nd and 5 versus going into second down and 2nd and 10. Because we decided to pass the ball on a weak check down or try to hit a slant across the middle to Granson and they drop it, or Mo Alley, whoever's out there, it doesn't matter. Again, the receivers haven't proven themselves. The tight ends haven't proven themselves. We need to go with what we know and what's proven, and that's going to be getting JT the ball.
Yeah, I think, that's what Kansas City's going to be game planning for. They're going to say, well, who's the biggest threat on their offense? They got Jonathan Taylor, man who almost had 2,000 rushing yards last season. So I feel like they're going to game plan for that. And if Michael Pittman plays, maybe some double coverage up in there, But I want to preface everything I'm about to say with this. Even with Jonathan Taylor only having 9 carries in that last game, he still averaged 6 yards per carry. Do you know how good that is? Oh, that is impressive. 6 yards per carry. I mean, that's how you move the chains. And I was saying this all Sunday. Why did we not feed, arguably, the best running back in the NFL, Jonathan Taylor, the ball when Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce were out? Both of them. So you lost your wide receiver 1 and your wide receiver 2/3, whatever you want to call it. Do you know what 6 yards per carry can do for you? Like I just said, it can move the chains. Something we had trouble doing the entire game against the Jaguars. Matt Hack was punting it damn near every drive, unless Matt Ryan was turning it over. I mean, we could talk about that too. I mean, Matt Ryan, he gets some of the blame. He made some bad throws in that game. But again, he didn't have great offensive line play. I mean, we didn't have great play in any category. But game 1, Jonathan Taylor has 31 carries. Game ends in a tie. You know, our offense produced. Game 2, he has 9 carries. We lost by 24 and put 0 points on the board. There seems to be a correlation where the more Jonathan Taylor is involved, the better our offense is. I don't know. Small sample size, so I could be wrong. Please let me know, Colts Nation, if I am. But well, I guess we'll find out against the Chiefs, all right?
You got that right. And, hey, I'm telling you, man, just let the young man eat. Let him do his thing, and it'll take care of itself. But while we're talking about JT and how we need to have him in the game because he's moving the chains, he's keeping it competitive, Eric, will we be able to keep it competitive through all 4 quarters?
Hell no, we already lost. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously, yes we can, and I'll tell you why. So I know I kind of, said some things that, we're going to lose by 42-0. No, I mean, that's a possibility. But let's look at the glass half full, won't you say? Here's some evidence that we can stay competitive. So we went 4-5 last year against playoff opponents. 4 wins came against San Francisco, Buffalo, New England, and Arizona. So we are just talking about playoff opponents, teams that made the playoffs last year for 2021. All pretty solid teams, right? San Francisco, Buffalo, New England, Arizona. I mean, San Francisco was just in the Super Bowl a few years ago. New England, Bill Belichick, Arizona. Absolutely stomped the Bills. And we like to bring that up because it's a good feeling. You beat one of the better teams in the NFL. Our 5 losses came against Los Angeles, Tennessee twice, Tampa Bay, and Las Vegas. Here's the kicker. Our average scoring margin against those playoff teams was 13.5 points on the wins. So we were winning by 2 touchdowns on average against those playoff teams. On the losses, we were -5. So we were losing by less than a touchdown, but we stayed competitive. It was a close game. That tells me we just have to be able to close out games because we can contend with the best. We did it last year. Hell, I still think the Buffalo Bills were the best team last year. And the only reason they didn't win the Super Bowl was Patrick Mahomes got the ball in OT first. Flip of a coin. We can argue and debate about, whether we should change OT rules, but he got the ball first. And once you score first, it's over. We dominated them last year, 41-15. JT gave them problems along with our above average offensive line play. Our defense rattled that offense. We controlled time possession and we kept Josh Allen off the field. All the above need to be true against the Chiefs this week if we want to win this game. Let's play to our strengths, boys.
Talk that talk, my man. Hey, I'm not even about to step on no toes. I ain't arguing with that. I think we'll be able to keep it competitive, but we got to just be there for all 4 quarters, man. I don't think if we win the coin toss, we need to be receiving the ball like we did last week. I think we need to be kicking it off. Let's get established because we know how high power of an offense that the Chiefs are. they want to get the ball, or we want to kick off, defer the second half, let them get the ball, let's play. My biggest gripe I think I have with us is we play so bad in the first and third quarters. We don't do a full 4 quarters. Second quarter, we try to come out a little heavy. Fourth quarter, we usually in comeback mode, so we're trying to play as hard as we can. But first and third are always that time when we're just not awake. And as of right now, we technically have only played 1 full quarter of football out of our 8 quarters so far. So, that was just the fourth quarter against the Texans where we came back. So I think that we can, but we have to start off smart from the coin flip. We have to be on the right page. If we're not, everything you just said can go out the window. But I like everything you just said, so I feel that we'll be in business, and we can get it done for all 4 quarters. And Eric, just one final thing for us here, man. I just want to touch bases on this because we posted a poll on Twitter asking if we were panicking too early. And out of that, man, 63 votes. Pretty split. 57% said yes, 47% no. 57% said yes, 43% said no, we're not panicking too early. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie, after the Jags loss, like, when you feel that pain the first day, I was on the panic season train too. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I understand you guys. However, what if I told you we were only a game behind in first place in the AFC South? Technically a half a game because we have that tie. Would that change your mind? So, while I played through 2 weeks doesn't give me confidence, the fact that we're only half a game behind leaves the playoffs still in sight. So I'm feeling okay about it.
Hey, that's the one good advantage about having the AFC South in your back pocket. You're never really out of it. So,
absolutely.
But yeah.
I just think, and I kind of started off on a low note when I said I expect a slaughter. I still do. That is my expectation that we're not going to show up. But I want the Colts to surprise me.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they surprise against the Chiefs, I will be so happy about our team moving forward. So please surprise me. That's what I want. I don't want the expectation that we get slaughtered because we're going to have the same conversation we did with our Jaguars episode that we are going to have post-game analysis, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, you got that right. Well, good news for us is JT is getting his banner up on the stadium. They took T.Y.'s down, unfortunately, thanks to the memories. But JT's getting put up there as we speak. So, I mean, if that ain't no extra gas in the tank for him, I don't know what is, man. He's ready to take over.
That might be our lucky charm.
Yeah.
Throw that up there. He gets 200 rushing yards. I'm just saying. You know?
Why not?
Trying to be positive here. Well, alrighty, everybody. That's going to be it for us, everyone. I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Colts Cast. We release episodes every Monday and Friday morning. Just kidding. We changed that to bi-weekly. But it's usually around those days. Go ahead and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. Again, our YouTube is up. Please go subscribe.
Go to it.
I can't wait to have our first live pod session because I want to see the questions you guys have, or statements, or thoughts, anything. It's going to be a good time. We'll be back on Sunday to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. Y'all have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a good weekend, Colts Nation.